Chris Day, better known by fans as Kamikaze Chris, is one of those rare figures whose life reads like a story of pure grit, determination, and the relentless pursuit of speed. He first came to public attention through the Street Outlaws television show, where viewers saw his daring maneuvers, fearless driving, and competitive spirit. What most people did not see, however, were the struggles behind the cameras, the bills piling up, and the countless hours he spent working to keep his dream alive. Chris grew up in a tough area of Oklahoma City, in a household where money was scarce and stability was a daily challenge rather than a temporary phase. His upbringing was not cushioned by financial privilege or safety nets. When the money ran out, it snapped, forcing him to rely on hard work and determination to get through each day. His early life shaped a mindset that would define him as both a racer and a person. If he wanted something, he had to earn it, and if he wanted to keep it, he had to continue working for it. Even as a child, Chris displayed an extraordinary fascination with speed. At the age of 3, he began racing motorcycles, competing against kids who were almost twice his age. While others were learning playground games, Chris was learning to handle dirt tracks, gates, and the intense mix of victory and defeat that racing brings. Every step up the ladder, from BMX bicycles to dirt bikes and eventually to cars, was earned through his own labor. He mowed lawns, chopped trees, pumped gas, and worked full-time in his family's heating and air business just to fund his passion for racing. This work ethic was instilled early, and it stayed with him throughout his life. Racing was never just a hobby for Chris. It was a combination of discipline, responsibility, and an intense drive to win. His father played a crucial role in this development, not only by letting him race, but also by teaching him that every mistake required accountability. "If you break it, you fix it," was a principle Chris absorbed fully, learning to understand the mechanics of machines, troubleshoot problems under pressure, and take responsibility for outcomes without blame. This philosophy shaped every aspect of his racing career, creating a mindset where speed was not merely fun. It was a rigorous exercise in skill, focus, and courage. From a young age, Chris wanted to race anything that had wheels, viewing competition not as optional, but as essential. That raw competitiveness became more than a personality trait. It became a survival mechanism and an escape from the pitfalls that many kids in his neighborhood succumbed to, such as drugs or trouble. Racing gave him a clean, productive outlet for energy and ambition, where success was determined not by luck or privilege, but by effort, ingenuity, and courage. Chris's early experiences also taught him to work with what he had rather than what he wished he could afford. Unlike wealthier competitors who could buy the best equipment, he had to push cheap or worn-out cars beyond their limits. He became skilled at extracting every bit of performance from a budget setup, learning how far a vehicle could be pushed and finding the edge others feared to approach. This combination of technical skill and fearlessness contributed to his nickname, Kamikaze, earned from the way he confronted danger calmly and almost joyfully, thriving in situations where others would retreat. Speed became a form of therapy for Chris, a place where the world's chaos sharpened his focus and made him feel alive. The mindset of all or nothing guided every choice he made, from working extra jobs to fund racing to pushing vehicles harder than anyone else dared, all while learning to survive financially and emotionally in a world that offered no guarantees. The Oklahoma City racing scene Chris was part of was defined by more than just speed. It was about brotherhood and shared struggle. His friendships with racers like Big Chief and Tyler Flip Pretty were forged on dirt bikes, in garages, and late nights spent working on vehicles. Their bond grew not from conversations about dreams, but from the sweat and effort of building cars, fixing mistakes, and competing together. These friendships created a foundation for a racing community that valued skill, loyalty, and perseverance above wealth or prestige. Big Chief's father figure also contributed heavily, teaching discipline, bravery, and hands-on skills that could not be learned from books or screens. This mentorship influenced how Chris and his friends approached not just racing but life itself. Nothing was handed to you, and success required sweat, patience, and resilience. Chris's iconic El Camino, known as the Elko, embodies the essence of his racing philosophy. Originally built with used parts and hand-me-downs, it symbolized effort over wealth, proving that dedication and ingenuity could compete with expensive, professionally built cars. Over the years, Chris poured relentless work into the vehicle, maintaining, rebuilding, and upgrading it under the pressures of limited finances. The Elko became a symbol of the underdog spirit, rough on the outside but engineered to dominate on the track. Every rebuild and modification, from nitrous setups to the eventual twin-turbo conversion, reflected Chris's refusal to accept limits imposed by money, resources, or fear. Even when faced with repeated engine failures, financial strain, and extreme stress, he adapted, learned, and overcame obstacles through persistence and clever engineering. Tragedy and danger were never far from Chris's life. The death of his close friend Flip and the catastrophic crash of the Elko in July 2020 exemplify the risks inherent in the world he embraced. Flip's death left an emotional scar that the crew felt deeply, transforming the Elko into a silent memorial before Chris inherited it as a living tribute. The car's crash, caused by a drive shaft failure and existing instability in the chassis, destroyed years of labor and investment in seconds. Chris walked away physically unharmed, but faced the harsh reality of losing the culmination of relentless work, ingenuity, and legacy. These experiences reinforced his identity as a resilient, fearless competitor who views danger not with dread but as an intrinsic part of the game. They also highlight a constant theme in Chris's life: the tension between pride, risk, and survival. Chris's transformation of the Elko with a professional twin-turbo setup marked a pivotal evolution in his career. While keeping its original spirit, he upgraded its engine, transmission, suspension, and fuel systems to compete at the highest level. These changes reflected not a desire for vanity or attention, but a calculated choice to gain consistency, power, and efficiency. Even with professional support, Chris maintained the mindset of a self-made racer. He understood the mechanics, the limitations, and the risks, continuing to manage the car with hands-on attention and racing intuition. This blend of underdog determination and professional engineering illustrates Chris's unique approach to racing, where heart, courage, and skill meet strategy and precision. Ultimately, the story of Kamikaze Chris is not just about cars or television fame. It is a story of perseverance, brotherhood, and relentless pursuit of passion under extreme circumstances. From the streets and dirt tracks of Oklahoma City to national attention, Chris's life exemplifies the transformative power of discipline, courage, and effort. Every race, rebuild, and crash has shaped not only the cars he drives, but also the character he embodies. His journey continues to inspire, proving that dedication, ingenuity, and unyielding drive can overcome obstacles, challenge norms, and turn dreams into reality, even when every element of life seems stacked against you. Kamikaze Chris remains a figure who races not just for victory, but as a testament to survival, resilience, and the enduring spirit of those who refuse to quit. Chris Day, known to fans as Kamikaze Chris, is more than just a Street Outlaws racer. He is a symbol of raw talent, resilience, and relentless dedication. From the outside, his life may seem like a glamorous whirlwind of fast cars, bright lights, and fame. But beneath the surface, Chris's story is one of constant struggle, perseverance, and sheer determination to chase a dream that most would consider impossible. Growing up in Oklahoma City, Chris did not have the safety nets many take for granted. His family faced financial instability, and every day was a test of survival, responsibility, and ingenuity. From a very young age, Chris learned that if he wanted to succeed in life, or in racing, he had to earn every opportunity with his own two hands. This meant working long hours in physically demanding jobs while still finding time to nurture his passion for speed. He mowed lawns, pumped gas, worked in his family's heating and air conditioning business, and even took on odd jobs in construction and car maintenance. The discipline he developed during these years would later define his racing philosophy. Nothing comes without effort, and nothing lasts without vigilance. Chris's fascination with speed started almost as soon as he could walk. By the age of 3, he was racing motorcycles, competing against kids much older than him, learning not only how to ride but also how to anticipate danger, judge distance, and stay calm under pressure. These early experiences instilled in him a profound sense of courage and focus, which would later translate to car racing. While other children were playing with toys or learning school sports, Chris's world revolved around engines, wheels, and the thrill of acceleration. BMX bikes and dirt bikes were just the beginning. Every level of racing required patience, mechanical skill, and a willingness to fail repeatedly to improve. Even at that early stage, Chris learned the importance of preparation, strategy, and endurance. By mastering small machines first, he built the foundation for larger challenges, understanding that speed without control is reckless, and control without courage is incomplete. One of the defining elements of Chris's life has always been his father's guidance. His father taught him that responsibility is non-negotiable, and mistakes must be corrected, not ignored. If you break it, you fix it became a mantra that extended beyond cars to life itself. Learning to repair bikes, troubleshoot engines, and optimize vehicles, Chris developed both technical skill and problem-solving ability, two traits that became essential to his success on the racetrack. This education went beyond theory. He learned from trial and error, from long nights in garages, and from the consequences of pushing machines to their limits. Over time, he internalized the idea that every risk carries responsibility and every victory requires preparation. This mindset would later allow him to survive the intense dangers of professional drag racing, where a fraction of a second or a small mechanical failure can make the difference between glory and disaster. The Oklahoma City racing scene, where Chris honed his skills, was about much more than speed. It was about community, mentorship, and shared struggle. Racing friends like Big Chief and Tyler Flip Pretty became his extended family, forged through countless hours of building cars, testing setups, and competing late into the night. Together, they learned the art of improvisation, how to extract maximum performance from budget cars, how to repair vehicles with limited resources, and how to face competition that often seemed more affluent and better equipped. The friendships Chris built were rooted in trust and loyalty. They were the people he could count on when accidents occurred, when funds ran low, or when the emotional strain of racing and life combined. These relationships were crucial in forming not just a racing team, but a support system that gave Chris the confidence to take risks and pursue victories. Chris's iconic El Camino, affectionately known as the Elko, represents more than just a car. It embodies the essence of his racing philosophy. Built largely from hand-me-down parts and budget components, the Elko was a testament to ingenuity, patience, and the underdog spirit. Over the years, Chris poured countless hours into maintenance, rebuilding, and upgrading, pushing the car's capabilities far beyond what anyone expected. Despite repeated engine failures and costly breakdowns, he never gave up, instead learning from each setback to improve performance and resilience. The Elko became a physical representation of Chris himself, tough, enduring, and relentless, capable of withstanding extreme pressure while performing at the highest level. Fans didn't just admire the car, they admired what it represented: dedication, skill, and the refusal to accept limits imposed by money or circumstance. Tragedy has always been a shadow in Chris's racing journey. The death of his close friend Flip and the catastrophic crash of the Elko in July 2020 left profound emotional and financial scars. Flip's death was a reminder of the dangers inherent in the sport and of the fragility of life itself. The Elko crash, caused by a drive shaft failure and prior structural issues, destroyed years of work in seconds. Chris walked away physically unhurt but faced the emotional toll of losing a vehicle that symbolized both personal achievement and tribute to his friend. These events illustrate a recurring theme in his life. Racing is not just about winning. It is about navigating risk, coping with loss, and maintaining focus and resilience under extreme pressure. The transformation of the Elko into a professional twin-turbo setup marked a turning point in Chris's career. While preserving the car's original underdog essence, the upgrades enabled competitive consistency and raw power at the highest level of street racing. Every modification, from reinforced chassis to advanced nitrous systems, reflected a careful balance of engineering and racing intuition. Despite professional help, Chris remained intimately involved in every decision, embodying the self-made ethos that has defined his career. The Elco's evolution demonstrates the merging of talent, experience, and smart investment, proving that underdog determination combined with precise engineering can level the playing field against well-funded competitors. Chris's story extends beyond racing to a lesson in human perseverance. He represents the power of dedication, skill, and courage in overcoming obstacles that might defeat others. His life is a testament to how personal ambition, community support, and relentless effort can transform seemingly insurmountable challenges into milestones of achievement. Through triumphs and tragedies, Chris has maintained his identity as a fearless, hardworking, and humble competitor. He continues to inspire fans worldwide, not only with speed and spectacle, but with a demonstration that resilience and focus are just as important as talent. Every race he enters, every rebuild he undertakes, and every risk he navigates is a continuation of a narrative built on sweat, sacrifice, and unwavering determination. Chris's entrance into the Street Outlaws scene was not a sudden stroke of luck, but the result of years of preparation, determination, and careful honing of his craft. By the time he appeared on the show, he had already endured countless late nights in garages, engine rebuilds, and practice runs on streets that were far from professional tracks. What separated Chris from many of his competitors was not just raw speed. It was his combination of mechanical knowledge, instinctive driving ability, and strategic thinking under pressure. Street racing at this level is far more than a test of who can press the gas pedal fastest. It is a contest of reaction times, car setup, risk assessment, and reading both the road and your opponent's intentions. Chris understood this from day one. He treated every race as a chess game at 150 miles per hour, where a single miscalculation could cost not only the race but also the car, the crew's trust, and sometimes personal safety. His approach was methodical. Know the track, understand the car's limits, anticipate the rival's moves, and execute flawlessly while remaining calm under extreme adrenaline. Rivalries quickly became a defining feature of Chris's Street Outlaws career. Among these, his battles with competitors like Big Chief, Farah, and T-Rex were particularly intense, creating both tension and motivation. These rivalries were not purely personal. They were symbolic of larger struggles between teams, philosophies, and approaches to racing. Chris often faced opponents with significantly higher budgets or more advanced technology, yet he consistently found ways to challenge them through ingenuity, preparation, and the sheer will to win. Fans tuned in not just for the races, but for the drama and strategy, watching Chris maneuver the Elco through high-stakes competitions while maintaining an aura of calm confidence. These rivalries pushed him to innovate continuously, whether tweaking engine setups, experimenting with nitrous timing, or making split-second adjustments mid-race. The intense environment reinforced Chris's belief that the difference between victory and defeat often came down to attention to detail, mental fortitude, and the willingness to take calculated risks that others would avoid. Behind the cameras, the life of a Street Outlaws racer is grueling, often unrecognized by fans who see only the final performance. Long days begin with meticulous car preparation, ensuring that engines, suspensions, tires, and safety equipment meet the exacting standards necessary for high-speed racing. Even a small misalignment in tires or a loose engine component can result in disastrous outcomes at top speeds. Beyond the technical side, Chris also devoted significant energy to maintaining relationships with crew members, sponsors, and fans. Managing these relationships required diplomacy, patience, and constant communication. While the thrill of the race often draws attention, it is the behind-the-scenes work, hours of tuning, repairing, testing, and strategizing that forms the backbone of consistent success. Chris's dedication in this regard set him apart from many competitors who relied more on luck or raw horsepower than careful preparation and knowledge of their machines. A particularly challenging period in Chris's career came when the Elco began showing signs of repeated mechanical strain during high-stakes races. Engine overheating, clutch failures, and suspension stress became persistent threats to both performance and safety. While some racers might have replaced the car entirely or scaled back participation, Chris embraced the challenge as an opportunity for improvement. He meticulously analyzed every failure, studying the interplay between mechanical components, environmental conditions, and driving style. Working alongside engineers and trusted crew members, he developed innovative solutions to extend the car's longevity and extract maximum performance. These efforts not only enhanced the Alco's competitiveness, but also reinforced Chris's reputation as a hands-on, technically savvy racer who could solve problems that would leave others stumped. Mentorship also became a vital component of Chris's journey. As his profile rose, younger racers began looking up to him, seeking guidance on driving technique, car preparation, and navigating the pressures of televised competition.